Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, your weekly dose of tech gyan. Over the last 18 months, we've seen a transition in LLMs from text generation to task execution, which means that your AI service can now use a computer just like a human would do. And to share more details on the tech that enables this, we have PK, who plays the role of a technical director in the BizApps team.
Hi, Arvind.
Hi PK, welcome to TGIF.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure to be here.
Great. So, PK, we've heard a lot about this computer use agent. So, what is the CUA and how is it different from the traditional RPA?
Perfect. So anything that a human uses a computer for could be automated, right? So that's where the computer use terminology comes into picture. Traditionally, we called it robotic process automation, where you have screens that are there on the screen, or on your laptop, desktop, whatever. You're trying to automate those sequences, right? But now, fast forward, we're talking computer use, where AI steps in to do a little more reasoning to figure out how these interactions can happen, right? So imagine a web application, a desktop application, right? You want to be able to copy something from a website into a form. All that can be automated. Um, Only difference between how it was done in RPA versus computer use is that in the RPA world, you had predefined scripts, workflows that were defined, and if something changes on the layout, your workflow breaks, right? But with computer use, because AI is doing the job, it does a little bit of reasoning and ensures that the workflow doesn't break. It is able to figure out what's there on the screen and then continue with the workflow. So that's where computer use agents come into picture.
Okay, so if I were to just simplify this, the AI service, by looking at the screen, understands the particular navigation, goes ahead and navigates a particular tool and populates the fields.
Absolutely.
From adoptability perspective, what are some of the tools that are available in the marketplace?
So there are several ways you could go about doing, computer use agents. You can, in the Azure AI Foundry world, you can of course build it from scratch. But now we are talking about a low-code, no-code platform called Copilot Studio from Microsoft, which lets you create and manage agents. I underline the word manage because it's a proper ecosystem to manage the entire functioning of your agents, right? So you get to create them, you get to manage them, telemetry, analytics, and whatnot, right? So with Copilot Studio, we've recently announced the ability to generate computer use agents. We have announced those tools within Copilot Studio. And what we need to note is this is a low-code, no-code platform, which means you are really not writing lengthy code to get these things happen. You might be able to just use a prompt engineering in general English to get your things done. So if you're good in prompt engineering, you can get going with Copilot Studio, and you should be able to develop these agents and get going. Yeah.
Great.
In this demo, we will look at a use case where invoice information has to be extracted from one portal. In this case, it is Invoice Hub, and then transform the details into another portal, which is Invoice Management Hub. So that's going to be our scenario here, right? So first, let me show you the manual flow of what is expected. So I go to Invoice Hub, open the PDF, right? So this is the PDF invoice from where information is going to be extracted, and then we will go to another portal and start keying in the details, right? So I switch to Invoice Management portal, and then whatever information was available in the PDF, the idea is that we will start entering here. Now this is the manual process, okay? So let's switch to Copilot Studio and then look at how an agent will do these set of tasks. I've already set up the agent to handle this invoice processing. It is designed to do things like extracting invoice information, answering invoice-related questions, etc. Right? So that is already done. What I'm going to do now is add an additional capability of computer use to this agent. Right? So I go to Add Tool, and here you will see the computer use tool on the extreme right. So I'll click on computer use, and it brings up a window where I get to configure a host machine for the agent to use for this task. For the sake of this demo, I've already set that up. So we'll proceed from here to configure the tool. So I click on Add and Configure, and it brings up the tool window for me. I give a name for the tool, a description of what the tool does. This is important, right? So it's going to be used by Copilot Studio or any other agent for that matter to determine when to call this tool. And the third thing that you're looking at now is instructions. This is quite critical, right? This is where we use natural language to define the different actions the tool is expected to do. You can see here, as I said earlier, Copilot Studio is low code, no code. So your entire programming here is dependent on the natural language instructions that you're going to give. So here in the instructions, you'll see 3 line items in there. One is to go to a particular website, look for latest PDFs there, and then extract information from there, switch to another invoice management portal, and start filling up the form there, right? So that's basically what our agent is supposed to do. Let's test this agent. The computer use agent is navigating to the first website, looks for the latest invoice PDF. You can see the activity history on the left while the activity is happening on the right side. So it switches to the second portal for invoice management, starts filling in the details based on what it saw in the other PDF. Right? Finally, once all these details are in, the agent will finally go ahead and submit the invoices. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
You're welcome.
So as you saw, computer use agents have the ability to transform productivity and improve compliance. Go ahead, check out the Copilot Studio and get started with building your first computer use agents. See you next week, same time. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.